well, it's called the Great Fear. And the peasants all over the country start revolting. Another reason that they're doing it is because, why would a peasant burn his landlord's house down? What way? So they don't have to pay the landlord? And you said taxes? How does burning the landlord's house down make you not pay taxes if you're a peasant? Good, you're right. But how does it, what exactly would the peasant be thinking? If I burn my landlord's house down, I don't owe him any money anymore. Why not? Because what?
Doesn't he lose power?
Well, yeah, hopefully he dies in the house. That's one way, right? What else, though? What? If I burn his house down, he still owns the land that I'm farming for. But every time I need to borrow money from my landlord, and he lends me money and I have to pay interest, he's going to give me a contract, right? And I'm going to sign it. And he's going to put it in a drawer in his office. And that piece of paper is the legal document that says, peasant owes me money. So if I burn that guy's house down, I'm probably going to try to start the fire right there in the office where I know that his file cabinet is, so that it burns up all of the legal documents that say I owe him money. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so they had other reasons beside this fear. There were some financial reasons too. So, yeah, here go the landlords. Nice picture. Nice picture. Details. Next. And look at the Great Fear. Look at all these peasants attacking all these landlords and how it spreads. They hear about it here, it happened here, they hear about it here, and it just keeps on spreading like fire all over the country. Not a good time to be a landlord. Next. 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 Stop. Okay, notice the Bastille Day was July 14th. It's only 3 weeks later. All this stuff has been breaking out in less than 3 weeks. August 4th. The night session of the National Assembly. They abolished the feudal regime. What does that mean? The first and second estate no longer have the privileges. Let's back up a second. Who could get a job as an officer in the army? Which estate? Only the nobles, only the second estate could get a job as an officer in the army. Which is a nice job, right? You get the nice uniform with the nice, what do you call it? Ribbons and medals. And you get to go to the nice parties and dance in your dashing officer uniform with all the women who faint because you're a stunning, studly officer. We should have military officers, darn. Who is the only estate that can get a job in the clergy? Well, you're not born. I don't become a bishop or a cardinal because Daddy was a bishop or a cardinal. Religious positions are not inherited. To become a clergyman, again, you have to be part of the second estate. Only a noble, only an aristocrat. Daddy's a duke, Daddy's a count, Daddy's a marquis. So, because I'm lucky enough to be born from Daddy and Mommy with a name like that, I can be a bishop or a cardinal. Life is good for the second estate. What was the only estate that could get a job in the government? You see the pattern? The second estate. This is all feudalism. This is all, this plus the tax system, where people of privilege didn't have to pay taxes. It's all feudalism. Or the legal system favored, you saw it with the warrants, the carte blanche and all those things. The aristocrats could kill at will and forgive at will. The only people who didn't have these rights were the commoners. All of that was abolished on this night. Birth of the modern, birth of the modern, birth of the modern. Now all Frenchmen, subject to the same laws. All Frenchmen, subject to the same taxes. All Frenchmen, eligible for the same jobs. Anybody know what that's called? Where you advance, you get jobs, positions, profits based on how good you are, not based on who your daddy is. Jessica. It's an ocracy word. Oh, there it is. Yeah, meritocracy. Meritocracy. Because to have merit is to have quality or value. So now it's not who daddy is, it's do you have any value or quality? Are you a high quality person? If so, you can be a priest, you can be an officer, you can be a government worker. It's no longer who daddy is. Modern world. You don't go to, well, actually it's not really true. You do go to Harvard if daddy has money, regardless of how good you are. It does happen that way. I've known Ivy League students who were as sharp as a bowling ball, but daddy had connections, and daddy had money. So the sharp as a bowling ball, dullest pencil in the box, little girl or little boy daddy goes to Harvard because daddy went to Harvard. So these things still do exist in reality. But by law, no. By law, and pretty much in practice too, meritocracy. Okay, next.
What was that called? When they said that all Frenchmen were subject to the same thing? It just happened.
It just happened? It was the decree of August 4th, 1789. Decree meaning announcement. All feudal privileges of the first and second estate are abolished. The ancient regime died on that day, August 4th.
Decree of what?
Huh?
Decree of what?
August 4th. 1789. 1789 is a good year to know, exactly, because it is the year that the modern political world and social world, one second, go get some water. Go. It's the night that the political and social world, modern, was born with this revolution. First time in Europe. And it's a convenient number to know because what other great empire fell in 89, not 1789? Anybody know? Another world historical day happened in 1789. Nobody knows? Was it 1889? Not that I can think of. Was it 1989? 1989? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? A great empire fell in 1989. Doesn't anybody? This is your lifetime. The Soviet Union fell exactly 200 years after the French monarchy did, the ancient regime did. It was the end of the communist era, of the Cold War era. 1989. So 89 is a good number to know. So here we go, the big ideas. Freedom. No more of those restrictions holding us down, not letting us be free. Remember John Locke? Here's John Locke. Freedom, equality, individual rights, and fraternity, brotherhood. It's all in your readings. Next. There you go, Ji-hyun. Say bye-bye to I get things because I'm daddy's boy. Say bye-bye to I get things because I'm daddy's girl. We don't care if daddy's a count. This peasant's kid is better than you. That's the new way. Next. But, next. Remember, the radicals didn't take power in this first stage. 1789 is still the moderate stage. So yeah, they make this announcement, but if you read the fine print, the little print, we don't want to go too far. We don't want to be extreme. So the peasants still do have to sort of pay the landlords, yada yada. Sean, go get some water. Next. If you're a peasant, woohoo, August 4th. I don't have to pay the landlord these things anymore. If you're a peasant, damn, August 5th. I do. That's the way it worked. They started reading, but, oh God, I still have to pay my landlord. They told me that I didn't, but there are new rules they make where I really do. Peasants, can you see that you're starting to be a little bit skeptical and cynical about this revolution? Next. So the National Assembly was bourgeois. They weren't radical. They were moderate. They didn't want to change things too much. Really what they wanted was to have the same advantages that the nobles had. So who gets left out? The other 70% of the population. Okay, next. Their goal was, we don't want to give up what we have. We just want more of what the aristocracy has. Because remember, we have a lot more than the peasants. Now, okay, reading quiz. Who was the group that started getting sick of this already and were the ones who started forming into little meetings and clubs and groups? Sans culotte, and I can't pronounce it. It means what in French? You take French. Sans means without. Without pants. Do not picture a bunch of revolutionaries walking around with no pants on. Can you laugh, please? Do not picture that. What it means is they wore a different style of pants. Oh no, they wore long pants because the culotte were culotte? I don't know how you pronounce it. Were like knee breeches that the wealthy wore. You've seen it in the movies, right? Those of you in history film class, you saw it with Malkovich wearing his silk stockings and then his little knee breeches, right? But if you're a baker, you're not going to wear silk stockings and knee breeches. You're going to wear long pants. If you're a gardener, if you're any of these other jobs, construction worker, you're not going to be walking around in your little silk stockings while you're building a palace. A palace? Huh? A bridge. Next. Again, the Bourbons. This is the new symbol. This is the new flag. It's still the French flag today. Tell me what's significant about this. The white of the Bourbons. The Bourbons are who? Not the church. Who are the Bourbons? The Bourbons are the dynasty, the Louis. That's the Bourbon dynasty. Louis XIV, 15th, 16th. And the red and blue of Paris. So the fact that they still have the color of the monarch there, what does that show about this revolution? Are they trying to get rid of the king? They're trying to find a better system. If you think that the French Revolution was, let's get rid of the king, originally, it wasn't. Instead, they wanted a system like a neighboring country of theirs that had a king and a constitution. It was not an absolute monarchy. It was a constitutional monarchy. A constitution is written rules that the king has to follow. Written rules that the parliament votes on, the people. So it's not this sort of random, whatever the king says, nothing's written down, there's no clear rules. It's a constitutional monarchy. What country had a constitutional monarchy? At that time? Great Britain. This is what the progressives, the moderates wanted. They wanted Louis to give power to the people and a constitution. But they didn't want to get rid of the king. They wanted a constitutional monarchy, like England. But again, those of you who are Louis, who are lucky enough to be Louis, watch this idiot. Sorry, that's my interpretation. Next. Oh, wait. Liberty or death. I love that grand phrasing. Fraternité ou l'amour. Liberty or death. Oh no, brotherhood or death. Next. Tricolor, three colors. Yeah, next. And now it's a big fashion, revolutionary fashion. Woohoo! Look at the little women wearing their tricolors. All right. Next. Frou-frou, Gucci, Gucci revolutionary fashion. Next. 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 Playing cards. You can picture the bourgeois guy. Ooh, I've got a great idea. I'm going to make $1 million on this great idea. I'm going to make playing cards with revolutionary characters on them. Oh, I bet this is worth millions of dollars now, to have a deck of these playing cards from the time of the French Revolution. Okay, next. Because everybody's happy. They're like, we're not killing the king. We're just making things more fair. We've got a new Jerusalem. A new land where God's justice rules on earth. There's no more of this privilege. Everybody was optimistic. Beethoven's alive during this time. My favorite poet, William Blake, is alive during this time. He's writing poems about this, saying, this is a new age. Utopia is coming. Look what they're doing in France. But it's 1789. 3 years later, everybody's like, oh my God. All right. Declaration of Rights of Man and the Citizen. Who gets rights here? Huh? Huh?
Everyone?
Everyone. Anybody want to read closely? Who gets rights?